Hey there, and welcome to the UkeStuff channel, and welcome to this review of the Rise by Sawtooth. Maybe it should be more like Sit Down by Sawtooth. But yeah, unfortunately, this is our instrument that we're going to look at this week. And some of you might ask, why would you ever review such a thing? And again, here's my viewpoint. I am a music educator. That's my job. And I currently teach elementary students, although I've taught middle school and high school in the past as well. And I have students that ask their parents for an ukulele, and their parents go out on Amazon or eBay and they buy them the cheapest ukulele that they can find. And then students arrive at my door with an instrument and say, "What do you think?" And then I have the really tough job of letting them know whether that instrument is going to work or not. And hopefully, if they can return it. So it's really important for somebody to be out here checking out these absolutely awful products. And I know I shouldn't give away a review ahead of time, but this is awful. I mean, you should have been able to hear that in the original sound clips and the tuning of this instrument. So this is by Sawtooth, and I already have sort of a negative idea about Sawtooth ukuleles. I did buy another Sawtooth. I haven't reviewed it yet, but as I was playing it, one of the tuners completely fell apart, and I ended up replacing all the tuners with another brand of tuners. And now that instrument is actually doing pretty well. The rest of it was built okay, and it's all right. But still, I had that negative experience, and now I really, truly have a negative experience. And here's why. Sawtooth isn't selling this as a knickknack that you can put on your shelf in your office, although it'd be fitting for that. It's not being sold as an ukulele-shaped object just for other purposes. It's being sold as a beginner ukulele. Check out this ad that actually shows up on their website right now. So that's a problem for me as a music educator, telling people that this is the ideal ukulele to start with. That's awful, because what'll happen is they might start, but they're never going to go anywhere with it, and they're going to give it up as soon as they can. What if you have a small kid that you just want to give an ukulele to so that they don't destroy yours? There are better options, even the first act ones. I haven't reviewed my first act that I bought for my son when he was at the toddler stage, and I had my ukuleles and I wanted him to have his own so that he could drag it around. Even that is a far better option than what you're going to find here. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a look at this from a subjective viewpoint, all the different subjective things you can compare about. Then we're going to take a look at objective data for the instrument, and then I'm going to give you an overall conclusion, even though that intro did seem a little bit like a conclusion as it is. But let's do it. So first of all, these sell for under $20 on eBay, and they sell for slightly more on Amazon with a little gig bag. I did not get the gig bag with this one. I bought the eBay one for just, under $17. You get a Rise warranty card. I don't know what you're warranting because it's not usable, but we'll get to that. And you get a book of ukulele chords and so forth. Again, for a ukulele that you really truly can't play and are really truly never going to be able to play. So the cost is, again, $17 to $25. Let's talk about the price of the instrument over time. Here's a look at Keepa.com for the price on Amazon over the last couple of months. And again, for an ukulele that you can't even play, there is no value there. The price exceeds value by far, even though you can't get much of a cheaper ukulele. The build quality is overall awful. We'll take a look on the inside in a minute, but it has a super, super thick laminate top. The tuners work. They're giant. They're giant tuners. They work. They hold. The nut is actually too skinny for the neck, so it really needed a 35 millimeter nut, but it has a 34 millimeter nut. The bridge is fine for now. It's glued on there onto that very gloss, thick laminate. By the way, the laminate on the sides and bottom is an entirely different type of laminate, and it's more like plywood. I'm not joking. You'll see that when we do the internal look. So, but anyhow, the bridge is attached, but the saddle is not adjustable. It kind of has like this little like rounded head. So it has the skinny part that it goes into that. I may try to see if I can lower this, but honestly, with the action that it has, I don't think I can get it low enough to make it actually play in tune. I would actually have to sand down the bridge to make that happen. And I might, because again, I'm out the $17 no matter what I do. I'm not going to be sending this back to eBay. So the build quality, not good. Now, don't just take my word for it on the outside. Let's take a look on the inside and you'll see what I mean. Are you ready to go into the Rise by Sawtooth? Here we go. All right, so you can see it's a very low quality laminate right off the bat. Now, check this out. Cardboard kerfing. Yes, that's right, cardboard kerfing. And just strange laminate all around. A little bit of a tail block, which is actually kind of a surprise. And a absolutely massive bridge plate. It's massive for that little instrument. You can see the glue mess. This is something else. All right, let's take a look, if we can, at the top of the instrument. All right, here we're looking at the top of the instrument. You can see that actually there's maybe some quality to the laminate that's used on the top, but it's super thick. Again, you've got your cardboard kerfing, and there's your neck block. And again, quite a bit of glue mess all over the place. And that is the inside of the ukulele-shaped object Rise by Sawtooth. Well, we're back. What did you think of that? Cardboard kerfing. Can you believe it? Or that giant plate for the bridge. It's just insane. And the wood is so thick you probably don't need even any support in there at all. I mean, that's how thick that plywood is, and that's how thick that laminate top is. Now let's talk about appearance. From a far distance, it looks kind of attractive. You get up close and it's not. It's a really interesting gloss job there. The paint job is It's even like got weird textures down here. You can hear that down there. The fretboard is painted. And again, it's just really, truly giant ears on the tuners. It's not very attractive at all. Very plain. In terms of availability, they're available right now if you want one. All you have to do is go to eBay or Amazon. Please don't. Spare yourself. Don't do it. In terms of playability, you can't play it. The action is ridiculously high. The action is as high at the first fret as you would generally want it on an ukulele. Maybe just a little bit smaller than that, but still, it's really close. And it's massively high here. So it's really difficult to play. When you play, anytime you form a chord, you're pulling strings out of tune. The strings themselves are questionable. It looks like there's only two sizes of string, a skinnier string and a thicker string. They are tied on in a traditional way. The tuners do hold. You can tune it up. It does generally hold its tuning in that position until you start playing and stretching the strings. So all in all, it's not a playable ukulele. Sorry. The sound quality, as you heard, is very poor. Listen to this quality tone. The A string just mutes. And I have no idea why. There's nothing that it's touching. It can't touch anything. It can't get low enough to do anything like that. So, I don't know. It's awful. So it has no volume. It has no sustain. It's dark and it's dead. And it's just not good. Now, don't take my word for it. Let's look at the Harmonic Energy series on the Tonal Energy Tuner to see what's happening with the sustain. So I'm just playing a C chord. All right, here we go. Nothing sustains. You might get a little bit of the fundamental pitch on the C. Yeah, it's not very good at all. So let's talk about the objective data for this instrument. It is soprano scale, even though it looks like a sopranino. It is a soprano scale. The scale length from nut to saddle is 12.875 inches. It has 12 frets. It does not have side position markers, and the body style is a traditional bout ukulele. The soundboard is laminate something, and it's thick. The back and sides are pure old plywood, I think, quite honestly. Very high particulate plywood. The fretboard is painted, so we don't have any idea of what it really is, as is the bridge, and it is a tie bar bridge. It does not have a radius fretboard, and the nut and saddle are plastic, and the saddle is not compensated, nor is it adjustable. The finish is a very thick gloss. Its overall length is 19.875 inches, so smaller than your average soprano, and it weighs 12.5 ounces, which isn't terrible. It's a little bit head heavy, generally because of those tuners that are open geared tuners on it. The action at the first fret is just about 2 millimeters. Just about 2 millimeters, a little bit larger than 2 millimeters. The action at the 12th fret is 5 millimeters down there, so almost double what you normally want. The nut width is 34.07 millimeters. The space between the strings at the first fret is 7.38 millimeters, making it 24.85 millimeters G to A. That's pretty narrow. It's a very tight fit. The depth of the neck at the third fret is 19.02 millimeters, which is actually kind of impressive. The one real positive, other than the fact that the tuners actually work and hold tuning, is the neck is actually pretty nicely shaped for this instrument. It doesn't mean that it's smooth or well done, but the shape in general is really nice. So if you're looking for a positive for the Rise by Sawtooth, it would be, I think, the shape of the neck has kind of a more flat profile, and that's kind of nice. All right, let's wrap this up with a summary statement. Again, I'm a music educator, and I have to focus on instruments that my students might bring to me. Could a parent go and buy one of these for their students? Absolutely, especially when the reviews aren't horrible on Amazon, they aren't horrible on eBay, and they see a price tag of $17 to $25, and I think, that's it. Now my kid is taken care of. That's a problem, because there are some good ukuleles that you can find that are inexpensive. This is not one of them. And the problem I have is that Sawtooth is marketing this as a legitimate beginner instrument. And as a music instrument company, they should know better. They should know that this is complete garbage. I don't care if they give you a warranty card with it. I don't care if they give you a chord chart with it. I don't care if you even get the one with a little tiny gig bag on it. It's unplayable, and it can't be made playable the way that they've made it. And that's a problem. So what should Sawtooth do? Other than doing a complete recall of these and giving people their money back? Ultimately, I think it's a redesign. I think they need to go back to the drawing board, go back to their factory that's making these and say, we've got to do this better. Now, it might end up costing a little more money. There's nothing wrong with a small ukulele. It'd be nice to have an affordable sopranino-sized ukulele that you could give a kid that was just learning to play that didn't want to hold a whole size soprano, or to travel with, or an inexpensive sopranino to travel with. There'd be nothing wrong with that, even for a few more bucks. But the way that this is, no, I can't recommend it at all. I rate ukuleles on a scale of 0 to 5 ukuleles. And for the first time on this channel, this ukulele gets 0 out of 5 ukuleles. It's that bad. Avoid it. There are other options. There are other inexpensive options. Save yourself and possibly your own child the issue, as well as their music teacher, having to look at them and say, I'm sorry, but that instrument can't really be played. So thanks for watching the video. Many more reviews to come. I'll be back soon with some more and better uke stuff for you.